Well, this clip's not going to really show you anything, no spoilers or anything like that, but in case you don't know, this is Astroneer. It's an early access game. I picked it up off Steam the first or second day that it was released. I just happened to stumble across it. It's a pretty cool game. I got a lot of hours out of it. I think I paid just over 20 some odd dollars for it. You know, early access games, they're really hit and miss. This one feels like it has tons of potential, but in all honesty, I don't think this game's going to be ready for at least 2 or 3 years. It's a really small crew of guys working on it, and there's a few glaring, like really bad bugs that pretty much end your enjoyment of the game after you've basically discovered everything and done everything. I think I got everything done in about 20 hours, and that includes finding all the little Easter egg things they leave lying around in the world and in the caves and things like that. And after that, it was just the frame rate just got so abysmal that I couldn't play anymore. You start out, like right now, what you're looking at is me running around, and I think in the top right corner it said like 62 frames per second. So I'm getting a great frame rate. I don't have a base really built up yet. I've got one extension off the main pod, and that's it. But what you find is that the more things that you build off of the pod, the slower your frame rate goes, and there's not really much you can do about it. At first, when it started happening, like my frame rate started dropping off, I'd be able to save and exit, come back in, my frame rate would bump back up again to something acceptable. But then after a while, it just got to the point where it was 20 frames per second the entire time, and then other times you'd look at a planet, you'd turn in a certain direction, and you would drop down to like 13, sub 13 frames per second. It became unplayable. And what I've been doing is I just go in and I delete my saves because, well, they get broken. You can't really do anything else. Like you travel to another planet, set up another base, your frame rate just goes to the dogs, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I don't have the most powerful computer. I've got a pretty good system, but I don't know. It's annoying, and I have this feeling that the way they've put this together in the Unreal 4 engine, they're going to have some serious problems getting the frame rate to remain steady for people. I don't see them fixing it in the next while. And if they follow the old, well, we're going to optimize everything closer to beta, people are going to be waiting a long time. And you know what? People are going to start to get really frustrated with this game if they purchase it and they don't work on straightening out the frame rate issue, because that is the main problem with this game right now. Beautiful game, lots of fun. There's quite a bit to do. It's a little bare bones, but the discovery is kind of neat. But it does get monotonous after a while. You research these little artifacts that you find, these little pods, you bring them back, you can research them, it allows you to discover new technologies, and you can build those technologies, and all the while adding all these new technologies tanks your frame rate. So everything in this game is coming back to your frame rate by adding, you see those blue lines there? Those are all tethers. They keep your oxygen supply, and sometimes they restore your power as well. The more of those you add, the more frame rate issues you're going to have. The bigger your base is, the more frame rate issues you have. The more planets you go to, the more frame rate issues you're going to have. It's gonna nuke this early access title if they don't nip this in the butt right away. And to tell you the truth, I don't know the skill set of these guys. I mean, they've released this game, and they've released this, and it's pretty nice. It's great looking, like, but are they skillful enough to be able to tackle this frame rate issue? I don't know. And so many times I've been burned by early access games that start out really promising, and then all of a sudden they just turn into just what you don't want them to turn into, or development is way too slow, or in some cases they just get abandoned. I don't think they're going to abandon this title. I've said that so many times before, but this game has so much potential, and I've said that so many times before. It's I don't know. It's a cute little game. You'll get, if you consider getting 20 hours of gameplay or more out of it, worth the $20 investment, by all means go pick it up. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't buy this game. Even though it was fun while I played it, it's getting really frustrating just you know, I'm bored with it now. I'm just completely bored. I don't want to have to go and remake everything. As it sits right now, you can't destroy anything you build, like any of your built objects in your base. You can't destroy them. You're stuck with them. So if you make a mistake, there's no going back from it. There's no modifying a save file or anything like that. There's no graphics options. You have to change everything by going into the files in the game and adding in a script. People said, "Oh, I solved my frame rate issue by changing these things in the game's files." And I tried. It doesn't really help that much. This is gonna be something that the developers themselves are gonna have to straighten out. I can see this game going places, but if they don't nip this in the butt, if they don't fix the frame rate issues, this game is going to tank so fast, and it's kind of a pity because it's a really cool little Lego type game to play and space exploration, and it's beautiful to look at. I mean, just look at it. It's a cool little game. Anyways, that's my take on Astroneer, early access title. Pick it up if you think 20 hours to 30 hours of playtime's worth the $20, and hopefully they finish it. Anyways, guys, I'm Holiday. Thanks for watching.